Your brain produces 7 grams of metabolic waste every single night. And after 60, it's losing the ability to flush it out. After 60, the system responsible for clearing that waste slows by up to 40%. And most people have no idea it even exists. I'm going to show you 5 specific foods, eat them before bed, that research shows can support your brain's overnight cleaning system. Starting tonight. I had a 67-year-old patient. Brain fog every morning. Waking at 3 a.m. like clockwork. 6 weeks after adding food number 3 to her evening routine, her sleep scores jumped 40%. The fog started lifting. And number 4, your doctor has probably told you to avoid it at night. The latest research says the opposite. Stay with me. Here's what nobody's telling you. Your brain has its own plumbing system. It's called the glymphatic system. And it only does its job while you sleep. When it works properly, it flushes the same proteins linked to cognitive decline. Amyloid beta. Tau. The exact compounds researchers connect to memory loss and brain fog. When it doesn't flush them, they accumulate. Every single night you don't address this, there's a little more buildup. Think of it like a storm drain under a city. Every night, while you sleep, cerebrospinal fluid pushes through tiny channels in your brain, clearing out the debris your neurons produced during the day. After 60, those channels narrow. The drain gets slower. The waste stays longer. Think about the last time you woke up genuinely sharp. Not groggy. Not reaching for coffee before you could form a sentence. Actually clear. When was that? If you have to think hard to remember, your glymphatic system is trying to tell you something. Here's the good news. This system is not fixed. What you eat in the 2 hours before bed directly affects how well those channels open, or stay restricted, overnight. These 5 foods support that process at the cellular level. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Number 1. Fix number 1, Tart Cherry Juice. The easy win. Start here. You can do this tonight. No prescription. No expensive supplement. 8 ounces of 100% tart cherry juice, not sweet cherry, not cherry cocktail, 100% tart cherry. 60 to 90 minutes before bed. Here's why this works. Tart cherries are one of the only whole foods on earth that contain naturally occurring melatonin and anthocyanins in the same source. Melatonin is the signal your brain needs to initiate deep sleep. Deep sleep is when the glymphatic system does most of its work. No deep sleep, no drain. But the anthocyanins are what most people miss. These are the plant compounds that give tart cherries their deep red color. A 2019 study published in the American Journal of Therapeutics tested tart cherry juice on older adults, and found it increased total sleep time by an average of 84 minutes. Not just slightly better sleep. 84 minutes more. I tell my own family this. 8 ounces. Tart cherry. Not before dinner, 60 to 90 minutes before you actually get into bed. That timing matters because you want the melatonin signal working as you're winding down, not 3 hours earlier when you're still doing dishes. One thing to watch, if you're managing blood sugar, tart cherry juice does contain natural sugars. Have it with a small amount of protein or fat, which, if you're following this list, the other foods will handle. So that's the foundation. Melatonin to open the window. Anthocyanins to reduce the inflammation that narrows those glymphatic channels. But here's what tart cherry juice can't do, and this is where most people's evening routine falls short. It addresses the inflammation. It doesn't address the structural problem inside your brain cells themselves. That's number 2. Fix number 2, walnuts, the unexpected. This next one surprises most people. Because if I asked you when to eat walnuts for brain health, most of you would say morning. With breakfast. Maybe in your oatmeal. Wrong time. And here's why it matters. 1 ounce of walnuts, that's about 7 whole walnuts, 60 minutes before bed. No more than that. The reason for that ceiling matters, and I'll explain it in a moment. Walnuts contain 3 things that work together for your brain overnight. First, they're one of the richest plant sources of ALA, a type of omega-3 fatty acid. While you sleep, your body converts ALA into DHA. And DHA is the primary fat that makes up the membranes of your glial cells, the exact cells that drive the glymphatic cleaning process. You are literally giving your brain the raw material to maintain its own cleaning system while you sleep. Second, walnuts contain their own melatonin. It stacks on top of what the Tart Cherry Juice already gave you. This is not redundant, these are different delivery mechanisms reinforcing the same signal. Third, polyphenol. These compounds reduce oxidative stress in the glial cells themselves. Less oxidative stress means those cells function better. Better function means better drainage. Now, why only 1 ounce? Because fat slows gastric emptying. Too much fat right before sleep raises your metabolic rate slightly and can delay the core temperature drop your body needs to enter deep sleep. 1 ounce gives you everything you need. More than that starts working against you. This is the part that changes everything. When you pair Tart Cherry Juice with walnuts, you're not just stacking 2 foods. You're addressing inflammation and structure at the same time. One opens the drain. The other rebuilds the pipes. But here's a fruit, and I mean one specific fruit, that a major university study proved could change your sleep quality in ways most sleep doctors aren't even discussing yet. That's number 3. And this is the one that surprised my patient. Fix number 3, 2 kiwis. The deep cut. I've never seen another channel talk about this the way the research actually supports it. And I almost left it off this list because it sounds too simple. 2 kiwis. That's it. Eaten 1 hour before bed. Skin off. In 2011, researchers at Taipei Medical University ran a clinical study, 24 adults, for weeks, 2 kiwis every night 1 hour before bed. The results were striking. Participants fell asleep 35% faster. They slept 13% longer. And their overall sleep efficiency scores, which measure how much of your time in bed is actual quality sleep, improved significantly. This is peer-reviewed research published in the Asia-Pacific Journal of Clinical Nutrition. And almost no one in mainstream health content is talking about it. Here's the mechanism. Kiwis are one of the highest dietary sources of serotonin, and serotonin is the direct precursor to melatonin. You're not supplementing melatonin. You're giving your brain the raw material to produce its own, which is a fundamentally different and more sustainable process. Your body regulates what it makes. It can't regulate what you supplement from outside. Kiwis are also rich in folate and antioxidants that specifically reduce oxidative stress in brain tissue overnight. Remember, oxidative stress is one of the primary factors that slows glymphatic flow. You're attacking the same root problem from a different angle. This is the fix my 67-year-old patient added to her routine. 2 kiwis. 1 hour before bed. 6 weeks later, the fog started lifting. Sleep scores up 40%. She called it the most boring intervention I'd ever given her. And the most effective. Now here's where most people stop. And where most evening routines fall short. Because everything so far works on melatonin, inflammation, and oxidative stress. What nobody addresses is the structural integrity of the glymphatic membrane itself. And this is where number 4 comes in, and this is the one your doctor probably told you to avoid. The research says the opposite. Fix number 4, fatty fish or high DHA fish oil. The contrarian. If you only take one thing from this video, let it be this. Because this is the one that goes directly against standard advice. And the gap between standard advice and what the evidence actually shows is costing people years of brain health. Most doctors will tell you, don't eat heavy protein before bed. It spikes your metabolism. It raises core temperature. It disrupts sleep. They're right. About red meat. About heavy protein in general. But fatty fish is different. Fundamentally different. And here's why. The DHA in fatty fish, docosahexaenoic acid, is not a thermogenic protein. It's a structural fat. It does not raise your metabolic rate. What it does is incorporate directly into the cell membranes of your glial cells, the cells responsible for driving glymphatic flow. A 2021 review published in the journal Nutrients linked higher DHA status directly to improved glymphatic transport efficiency. The membranes work better. The drain opens wider. Think about what that means. If your glymphatic system is a drain, DHA is the material the drain pipes are made of. You can reduce inflammation all you want. You can support melatonin production all night. But if the pipes themselves are made of substandard material, the system cannot perform at its potential. 3 to 4 ounces of wild-caught salmon. Or, if fish before bed doesn't work for you, 1,000 milligrams of a DHA-specific fish oil capsule. Not generic omega-3. Look at the label. You want at least 500 milligrams of DHA per serving specifically. Take it with a small amount of fat for absorption. The walnuts from earlier already covered that. Wild-caught only. This matters. Farmed salmon has significantly lower DHA content because the feed composition is different. Wild-caught fish eat what they evolved to eat. The DHA profile is not the same. I tell my own family this. Every evening. Not because of tradition. Because the mechanism is sound and the research supports it. Everything so far feeds the system. Reduces the inflammation. Rebuilds the structure. But number 5 is what activates the full protocol, and it's what I personally do every single night before I sleep. This one is the game changer. Fix number 5, warm golden milk. The game changer. This is the one I personally do every single night. And this is the one I want you to try first, before any of the others, if you're only going to make one change tonight. 1 cup of warm whole milk or oat milk. Half a teaspoon of turmeric. 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Optional, half a teaspoon of raw honey. Consumed 30 to 45 minutes before bed. Let me tell you exactly why every single ingredient is in this cup and what it's doing. Curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, is one of the few dietary compounds that crosses the blood-brain barrier. This is rare. Most things you eat stay in the bloodstream. Curcumin gets through. And once it's in the brain, it works on the exact proteins the glymphatic system is trying to flush. A 2018 study from UCLA found that daily curcumin consumption was linked to significant improvements in memory performance, and to reduced amyloid and tau signals on brain scans of adults with mild memory complaints. That's not a supplement study. That's dietary curcumin. Food. In a cup. Now, black pepper. This is non-negotiable. Without piperine, the active compound in black pepper, your body absorbs almost none of the curcumin. Research suggests piperine increases curcumin bioavailability by up to 2,000%. Without the black pepper, you are essentially drinking warm yellow milk and getting a fraction of the benefit. The black pepper is not optional. The warm milk serves 2 purposes. First, tryptophan. Milk contains tryptophan, which your body converts to serotonin, and then to melatonin. You're layering yet another natural melatonin support signal on top of everything else you've already consumed tonight. Second, the warmth itself. Drinking something warm raises your peripheral body temperature first. Your body compensates by dropping your core temperature. And that core temperature drop is the primary physiological trigger for deep sleep onset. You are using the warm liquid to engineer the temperature shift your body needs. This is the part that changes everything. When you combine all 5 of these foods in a single evening, you are not doing 5 separate things. You are running one coordinated protocol. Tart Cherry Juice opens the melatonin window and reduces neuroinflammation. Walnuts give your glial cells the structural fat and antioxidant support they need. 2 kiwis deliver serotonin and folate to reduce overnight oxidative stress. Fatty fish or DHA oil rebuilds the membrane integrity of the glymphatic system itself. And golden milk crosses the blood-brain barrier and stacks a final layer of curcumin protection on top of everything the first 4 foods set up. Remember at the beginning, I told you your brain produces 7 grams of metabolic waste every night. And after 60, the system that clears it is losing efficiency. Here's what I want you to understand now that you've seen all 5. That 40% decline is not destiny. It's a default. What you eat in the 2 hours before bed is one of the most direct levers you have over that system. And you just learned exactly how to use it. The application. I want you to try one thing right now before this video ends. Go to your kitchen, or make a note on your phone right now, and write down these 5 things for tonight. Tart Cherry Juice. 8 ounces. 90 minutes before bed. 7 walnuts. 60 minutes before bed. 2 kiwis. 60 minutes before bed. You can eat the walnuts and kiwis at the same time. Wild-caught salmon or DHA fish oil. With dinner or as a light evening snack. Golden milk. Half teaspoon turmeric. Quarter teaspoon black pepper. 1 cup warm milk. 30 to 45 minutes before bed. You do not need all 5 on night 1. Start with the golden milk tonight. It costs almost nothing and the mechanism is the most direct. Add the tart cherry juice on night 2. Build the protocol across the week. By day 7, you will have run the full system every night. Save this video. You're going to want to come back to the golden milk recipe. The ratio of black pepper to turmeric matters and I want you to get it right. If you want more of this exact kind of content where I walk you through the mechanism and give you something specific to do tonight, subscribe. I'll be here every week. The close. Let's recap. 5 foods. 5 specific things you can start eating before bed tonight to support your brain's overnight cleaning system. Number 1, Tart Cherry Juice. 8 ounces. 90 minutes before bed. Melatonin and anthocyanins working together. Number 2, 7 walnuts. 60 minutes before bed. ALA omega-3s that convert to DHA overnight and rebuild your glial cell membranes. Number 3, 2 kiwis. 1 hour before bed. Serotonin, folate, antioxidants. The most underreported sleep study you've never heard of. Number 4, wild-caught salmon or DHA fish oil. The one your doctor said to avoid at night. The research disagrees. Number 5, warm golden milk. Turmeric, black pepper, warm milk. Curcumin crosses the blood-brain barrier. The black pepper is not optional. Which one surprised you most? Tell me in the comments. I read every one. Those 5 fixes handle the nutritional side of your glymphatic system. Your sleep architecture is now better supported than it was an hour ago. But there's one hormone, and most people over 60 have no idea their levels are off, that can override everything you just learned. It doesn't matter how well you eat before bed if this hormone is dysregulated. I made a video specifically on how to identify it and reset it naturally. Watch it next.